Hello lovelies, Route Danger Fox here. I'm gonna continue with what if Deku had the quirk, a quirk called Animal. And last where I left off is where I kind of explained what happened to the last guy who took care of the tigers. And I and I just wanted to briefly say, yes, I know that Azrael Dreamer is not an animal, he's a monster. I remember thinking someone might have gotten mad at me because I basically said this in the last part, and I'm very sorry if any of you guys got mad at me. It's just this is how I thought Deku would look like. So I'm gonna continue, and do not mind what's on top. Basically, at this point I need to get rid of this. Okay, basically, I'm gonna continue, kind of. Basically, I need to stop saying basically. So Deku mainly takes care of kids, like I said in the last part, he's a babysitter. But since he was forced to babysit these group of children, he's not allowed to go home or babysit anyone else. And a lot of the other parents are starting to get worried, and where Deku is only allowed to go to school and back into this place, he was never allowed a chance to go back to his home, to his family. And whenever he tries to escape, the family eventually gives up on trying to make him go home by school. They force their children to either beat him or put a shock collar around Deku's neck, to the point where they electrocute Deku to the point where Deku eventually gives up of escaping and goes home, to their home. Deku was forced to live in this situation every day in that area. He was either forced to keep the house tidy, watch over the children, and feed the pets. That's all Deku does. After he's done with all that, he goes to sleep in a room which is not suitable at all. And Deku is literally terrified to the point where he's afraid of asking for food or water, because they normally give him like a scrap of food or water. And that was kind of the harshest point. And I'm sorry if you hear background noises. I need to stop saying basically. So Deku is living through this throughout close to the 10 months. During that time, Deku is learning at school, and whenever his friend Bakugo, who jokingly asks, "Hey, where are you? It's like you have been adopted or something." And this is like in front of the two children that goes into Deku's school. And Deku said, "Oh, no. And he does talk to Bakugo, but eventually Bakugo does get like a gut feeling about something that is wrong with Deku. First of all, Deku never wears a choker, because the shock collar was kind of designed to look like a choker. You know, the little things that I kind of don't know how one looks like. I just know that it goes around a person's neck, and it's kind of like a collar-ish design. And Bakugo knows Deku never likes wearing those because he feels like he is a pet with those on. So he never likes wearing those, or he never buys them because he thinks he normally doesn't like them. And so Deku normally doesn't want to buy them, and to see Deku wearing one is kind of suspicious. And Deku has actually showed his arms previously, but now Deku never shows his arms. Like, he rolls up his sleeves whenever he has to do something in a baking class, because I know for a fact some schools have a course for baking and art. And I think, yeah, Deku normally, this is gonna go into the story. And the teacher, whenever other teachers ask Deku if everything's alright, he does say he's fine, but when the teachers look into his eyes, they feel total nothingness, like Deku's showing no emotion, but Deku is having an emotion. kind of an emotion. He's scared because each time he tries to tell people the truth, they either ignore him, which kinda is weird, and he gets electrocuted in the neck. And when he feels like he's being ignored, he mainly shows it throughout his actions or his body language. Like whenever he feels like he's being ignored, he stops talking completely and looks very uncomfortable by the situation. And normally when people see that, they try to pull him into the conversation sometimes. And sometimes Deku says, "Oh, it's fine. I actually I'm gonna go hang out with my own group of friends." And Deku does have like several group of friends, so it's kind of normal for him saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with these people," and they're like fine with it since Deku's normally the second popular kind of guy, well, second popular kid in the school. So that's the thing. And these two brats always like tail Deku no matter where he's going. Like if he wants to go drink water, they'll be slowly behind him, behind a wall. If he goes to the restroom, one of the siblings go into the restroom and heavily breathes behind the stall where Deku is at, which is very disturbing and creepy. So Deku's trying like very hard to either run away or tell the police. And the police are normally either paid off or get ignored by the parents of these children until Deku takes it a bit further and literally does not take care of the children because they didn't take care of him. In a case they don't let him go home. He needs to babysit other families as well for a job, and the parents kind of force him to. Well, not the other parents, this specific family. And I forgot to mention, in this what if, in the last part, I failed to mention that Deku actually has a girlfriend in this what if. And they actually had a stable relationship. Nothing like ever bad happened to the relationship. Like, it kind of struggled a bit, like ups and downs during like Deku's capture. Like his girlfriend asked whenever, like, why are you ignoring me sometimes? And blah blah blah. And what's happening? You normally call me sometimes a day, well, once a day kind of situation, and ask me how am I doing. And I never gotten a call from you, and I'm starting to get worried. Like she's like the people label her as a worry person because she was normally worried about her family, her friends, and her lover, aka her boyfriend, aka Deku. She cares about people because her parents label her with a big heart. And people label Deku as the popular kid or another kid with a massive heart because Deku cares about everyone in the school equally. Like, Deku believes like people should get a second chance in life, so that's what Deku believes. But since Deku is slowly going kind of insane, because, well, not insane, he goes kind of like worried and anxious of where he is because of those two brats following him whenever he goes. And whenever his girlfriend kisses him on the cheek or on the lips, they get upset because they say to Deku, stop hanging out with her or else. And he literally says, or what? Like defending his girlfriend of the title. Well, defending his girlfriend. And then the girlfriend sees a shock collar remote and they push the button where Deku gets electrocuted. Sorry if you guys could barely hear me, I have to talk softly. Okay, I'm gonna skip a couple weeks. And this is gonna involve the girlfriend in this what if. So it's close to the end of the second year or third year. I think I put Deku in the second year. If I did not, then Deku is in the middle of the year. Well, actually, no. The end of the second year. Actually, no. The end of the third year. And I know for a fact some schools have enough funding for they could assemble a prom for the students. And Deku was going to prom anyway, but the parents forced him to take their children to prom, which Deku did not like at all. And he actually escapes that night, running away from home and finding one of the maids removed the shock collar, and it was the maid with the cast on her arm. She's gonna be very relevant. And Deku does the maid and butler with the casts do bandage Deku up for no blood or injuries showed through his tuxedo that he wears for prom. And when he sees his girlfriend when he was ready to take her to prom, like he said a couple weeks back, if there's gonna be a prom, I would willingly take you if it's okay with you, since it's a two-way relationship. She said, yes, I would like to go to prom with you. And when Deku sees his girlfriend in a beautiful outfit, she was wearing a beautiful dress with lovely designs on it. And Deku said, wow. Well, not in a sarcastic way. No, I don't want to make Deku a douche. Deku said, oh, wow, you look beautiful. And his girlfriend said, oh, thank you. And Deku literally continued, him and his girlfriend to prom since, actually no. Deku had enough money, and since Deku had enough money, he actually bought a car or a limousine. Well, no. Bucko was planning on, you know what, screw it, they walked to prom. And if some people said that is not an actual good way to not an actual way to go to prom, then I don't know, because I never went to prom. And when they went to prom, they had a blast. There was music playing, people were having fun, they talked to their friends, Deku talked to Bakugo, and they had so much fun, there was so much food, they had a blast of a party. And this is gonna be a sad part when this is gonna happen. So everyone, please commence shocking motion. Basically, when Deku is taking his girlfriend back, the party goes on for hours, and they had a lot of fun until it reached close to midnight. Ooh, Cinderella vibes. And Deku decides to walk his girlfriend to home. He said to the walk home, is your parents gonna be there for I could drop you off safely? Because there is and the thing is, there is a robber, which is a bad situation, because normally the area where his girlfriend lives is the target area where the robber is. And she said, oh, my parents are gonna be there, don't worry about me. And Deku said, okay, if that's what you want. As the girlfriend opens the door and gives Deku a goodnight kiss since it was night. Deku gave her a kiss back, and they said, see you tomorrow, since there was still school going on. As his girlfriend closes the door behind her, and Deku walks home, quote unquote. Since Deku is now free from the shock collar, he does walk to his actual home and gives his parents an actual visit. When they ask where he was, he explains everything. Oh no.